The ocean covers more than 70% of our planet, and yet we've only explored a fraction of it. In the darkness below, cameras have captured creatures so strange, so terrifying, that they look like they shouldn't exist at all. From bizarre discoveries to haunting encounters, these are 10 sea creatures caught on camera, ranked from the least to the most terrifying. Number 10. In the silent darkness of the deep sea, there are creatures that move in ways that seem almost unreal. One of them is the Basketstar. At first glance, it looks like nothing more than a fragile plant clinging to the ocean floor. But as the camera gets closer, its arms begin to twist and branch out like living roots. They wave hypnotically, as if the ocean itself were breathing through them. Then, without warning, every arm snaps shut at the same time, like a trap triggered by something invisible. The sudden movement sends a chill through the water, and just as quickly, the creature drifts away, vanishing into the current. It's not a monster from a nightmare, but watching it move feels unsettling. A reminder that even the smallest creatures in the ocean can stir a very real sense of fear. But things are about to get even stranger. Number 9. Back in 2004, cameras exploring the Pacific captured something that looked like it had swum, straight out of a science fiction movie. At first, it appeared to be just another small fish drifting through the darkness, until the light revealed its secret. Its entire head was transparent, like glass, and inside you could see its brain and 2 glowing green eyes that rotated independently. The fish seemed to lock its gaze directly on the camera, as if it knew it was being watched. But then, those strange eyes suddenly shifted toward the distance, focusing on something unseen. Moments later, a massive shadow passed through the water, and in an instant, the transparent-headed creature was gone. It's a chilling reminder that in the deep ocean, even the strangest animals can become prey. And the deeper we go, the stranger it gets. Number 8. In the frozen waters of Antarctica, researchers captured footage of a creature that looks more like it belongs in a science fiction horror film than in our world. At first, it appears small, just the size of a squirrel, but up close, its true form is revealed. A giant scale worm stretching nearly 9 inches long, its segmented body armored like an insect, lined with bristles, and ending with 4 sharp fang-like teeth. As it twists through the icy currents, its alien appearance is both fascinating and disturbing. Its movements are deliberate, as if it's studying its surroundings, or waiting. Scientists assure us it's just another rare deep-sea species, but for those who've seen it, the creature feels unnatural, like something that should never have existed on Earth. Luckily, it only lives in the darkest, coldest waters of the planet, far from human reach. But not all sea monsters stay hidden in the cold. Number 7. At more than 3,000 meters below the surface, cameras in 2001 recorded one of the most otherworldly creatures ever seen. Floating in the darkness was a translucent body with 2 large black eyes staring into the void. But what truly set it apart were its arms, thin, ghostly tentacles stretching up to 8 times the length of its body, trailing along the seafloor like wires from some mechanical phantom. As it drifted, the squid seemed weightless, its movements too slow and too precise, as if it wasn't swimming at all, but gliding. Then, without warning, it extended its limbs further, brushing the ocean floor in eerie silence, before vanishing into the abyss with no effort at all. It was a reminder that some of the strangest beings alive today look less like animals, and more like something built in another world. But the ocean still hides lights no one can explain. Number 6. In 2002, off the coast of Japan, a team of marine scientists was documenting squids in the deep when their cameras picked up something completely unexpected. At first, the water was empty, just darkness, particles drifting, and the faint outline of the ocean floor. Then suddenly, a massive glow appeared in the distance. It wasn't the reflection of their lights. It wasn't a machine. This was a source of illumination coming from within the ocean itself, an enormous sphere of light pulsing slowly, as if alive. The crew could only watch as the glow lingered for several seconds, and then collapsed in on itself, disappearing into blackness as if it had never been there at all. No explanation has ever been agreed upon. Some say it was a rare bioluminescent phenomenon. Others believe it was something far stranger, a presence that wasn't supposed to be there, and soon after, cameras captured a nightmare rising to the surface. Number 5. Normally, this creature lives in total darkness, thousands of meters below the surface. But in 2024, near Tenerife, cameras captured the impossible, an abyssal anglerfish drifting at the surface in broad daylight. Its skin was scarred and pale, its teeth long and needle-sharp, curving inward like a cage. The small lure above its head, which usually glows in the deep, was dim and lifeless. For several minutes, the fish floated there, unmoving, its black eyes locked on something unseen. Witnesses described the feeling as if the creature wasn't just floating, but watching. Then, with a slow, deliberate motion, the anglerfish sank back into the depths, disappearing as if the ocean swallowed it whole. Seeing a predator from the abyss emerge in the light of day is a chilling reminder that the boundaries between our world and theirs can break without warning. And what comes next blurs the line between legend and reality. Number 4. Fishermen out at sea are used to strange sights, but nothing could prepare them for what surfaced near their boat. At first, the water broke with what looked like the head of a seal, but as the figure rose higher, its shape became disturbingly human. The pale outline of a face, the movement of shoulders just beneath the waves. It looked like something halfway between a person and a creature of the deep. One recording shows it lifting slightly before slipping back into the water. Another shows a shape leaping out of the sea, too large and too fast to be explained by any known animal. Some call it proof of mermaids. Others insist it's just a trick of the waves. But the haunting footage continues to leave people uneasy, as if something ancient is watching from beneath. It may be myth, it may be mistake, but the image of a human-like being rising from the ocean lingers in the mind long after the waves close. And soon after, something even more disturbing washed ashore. Number 3. On a quiet morning at Kill Sands, a woman walking along the shoreline stumbled upon something that froze her in place. At first glance, it looked like the remains of a human body, half buried in the sand. But as she got closer, the details became far more disturbing. The torso, ribs, and skull were unmistakably humanoid. Yet the lower half ended in a long, scaly tail. The figure measured nearly 2 meters, with patches of hair across its chest and face, and teeth far too sharp for any human. It was the kind of sight that makes legends come alive, the body of what many called a mermaid. Photos of the corpse spread quickly, sparking debates between skeptics and believers. Was it a clever hoax, an unknown animal, or proof that myths of half-human sea creatures are rooted in reality? Whatever the truth, the haunting image of that body on the sand remains burned into memory. But sometimes, the ocean's horrors don't wash ashore. They watch from the shadows. Number 2. A group of fishermen were filming their catch late one night, laughing and talking as the camera rolled. Nothing seemed out of the ordinary until they reviewed the footage later. In the distance behind them stood a figure, a tall black silhouette, motionless against the faint glow of the water. And then, 2 bright eyes opened. They didn't blink. They didn't move. They simply stared. The fishermen had no idea they were being watched. Only the camera caught the presence, and by the time they noticed it, the figure was already gone. Some say it was a trick of the light. Others insist it was something supernatural, an entity lurking just beyond their vision. But what unsettles most is the thought. If it hadn't been recorded, they would never have known how close it really was. And in the ocean's darkest depths, one final terror was waiting. Number 1. In a quiet bay, a man waiting for a ferry began recording the water. At first, it seemed calm, ripples breaking against the shore, the faint sound of boats in the distance. But then, the waves shifted. Something massive was moving just beneath the surface. Slowly, a dark shape emerged, stretching across the water like the body of a serpent. Its tail rose and slapped the surface, thick and heavy like that of a crocodile, while the rest of its enormous body twisted out of sight. Fishermen nearby watched in silence, unable to name what they were seeing. Local legends speak of the fish of the end of the world, a creature said to appear before great disasters, earthquakes, floods, signs of doom rising from the ocean. Whether it was a monster, a myth, or something in between, the sight of that colossal being left witnesses shaken, and reminded us that the ocean may still hide giants we were never meant to see. And that's why some sea creatures should never exist.